Topic number 6, sticking with Marvel, and I almost forgot about this, Elliot. X-Men 97. What's going on? Right. I wish I had the I don't have any music. I wish I did, but
Tough, you
this is
did, YouTube. Gank.
yeah, oh yeah,
Gotcha.
definitely. Man. Disney's this is coming from direct.com. Topic number 7. Disney Plus's X-Men reboot first plot details officially announced. Elliot, when's the last time you watched this?
When I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. It's been a
I
minute.
I binged it 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I had surgery done on my eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and so I couldn't work for I was on medical leave for like 5-6 months,
Oh
and I
wow.
was so just at home I binge watched the whole thing, and I remember the plot like it was yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and this is going to be picking up right where it left off, and
Gotcha.
I'm excited about that. The
Nice.
Mayos, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's nice that they, continue that continuity. That's dope.
Oh yeah. DeMayo started out by revealing that the X-Men will be experiencing a wave of increased sympathy towards mutants and understanding. Interesting. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything important? No, I didn't. Okay. Wait. The writer previously told there is such an earnestness to all the characters. Okay, no, I didn't. Okay, we're going to be picking up about several months after Professor X left Earth after being shot by Henry Gyrich, and he had to return to the Shi'ar homeworld to be with Lilandra. And what ends up happening is that the assassination attempt has led the wave of increased sympathy towards mutants and understanding. Now, before I go any further, if you don't remember, I think it was like 6 or 7 seasons. The last episode of this 90s, one of the best series of all time,
Mm-hmm.
there was a conference, and Professor X was sick. He was having some mental breakdown, going crazy,
Right.
trying to talk to people across the galaxy, Lilandra with the Shi'ar.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a conference, and they were still working on the human and mutant relations.
Right.
Magneto showed up, and he was like, "Hey, man, humans and mutants been beefing all this time. Let's shake and get along. I don't want to fight no more. I don't want to be a bad guy. I don't want to leave bad. Let's just get along." And everybody was like, "Yay, let's get along." But then this evil guy that hated mutants just was like, he was basically like, "No, F that, I hate you," and tried to like attack him or like another mutant right after the last minute. And Magneto was pissed. He was like, "This is BS. I am tired of this. I am trying to bury the hatchet, and you still have this gentleman trying to fight me." I think he was like, "I'm gonna kill everybody." But then somebody was like, "No, Magneto, please do not do that. We need you to help send some type of magnetic brain wave across the galaxy so we can help save Charles' life." So Magneto was at a crossroad in the last episode. Okay, am I gonna kill the humans and take them out and be bad some more, or help Charles Xavier? And then he decided to help Charles Xavier, and they did some type of mental telepathy thing, and then it cut the credits, and that was the end. And so now,
I don't remember any of that.
oh yeah, and so apparently that's where this is going to pick up.
Gotcha.
He pointed out that the team weren't expecting this type of public reaction as they asked themselves, "What does our future hold for us?" Causing Cyclops and Storm to step up and be the team leaders. And things are, despite the friends of humanity still having the mullets and getting all up in it, things are really starting to look up for mutants. And this is going to kind of come to a head and leads our X-Men to say, "What does our future hold for us? We weren't expecting this, and you're going to have Cyclops and Storm really wanting to carry on the dream." And they've recruited Morph and Bishop to actually become full-time members of the team. Other X-Men like Jean and the how did they type this? Other X-Men like Jean and the will they, won't they couple Gambit and Rogue are starting to begin to question. Maybe there is a life. We've been fighting for this life of acceptance. We can just go out there and enjoy it for once, maybe. And then, of course, somebody shows up who shouldn't show up, and it's Magneto, who's also kind of feeling like, Professor X, he did a solid for mutant kind. I'm going to try and walk in his footsteps. I'm going to try to be a force for good for mutant kind. The writer concluded sharing one of the biggest questions superheroes will ask themselves: embrace the future. But then, of course, as the X-Men and the kind of looking at the future, and we're going to be talking a lot about this, how do you face the future? How do the X-Men do what they've been telling humanity to do for decades, which is embrace the future? If I keep going, because I don't want to reach out of death, I thought I read somewhere that Sinister, may be coming back. Yeah, thankfully the same event. Baltimore also revealed that one day key villains in the revival will be Mr. Sinister, aka Nathaniel Essex. So he hasn't gone anywhere. And so yeah, man, that's the plot that's going to be coming up for X-Men 97. I can't wait. Elliot, passing it to you, does that excite you or not really? How you feeling about that?
Yeah, no. Again, I was loved this series as a kid. I kind of, again, the finale. I don't think I even made it to the finale because I was more so, being a DC fan, watching, Batman animated, Justice League, Unlimited, all that stuff. So I don't remember it as much, but I'll probably revisit it. They're quick episodes. They're like 23, 21-minute episodes. Some of them are a little bit longer. So it's not like a bunch of heavy work to catch up with it. So I'll probably binge it and just, remember a lot of the stuff that I've forgotten since I was a kid. My only, and I'm not even really concerned because we're seeing both Marvel and DC do this, but I am very curious since this is technically Marvel's first MCU, Marvel Studios getting their hands on a pre-existing X-Men property before we get, the MCU version of the X-Men. If people are going to fall in love with this, adaptation and this revival versus, like, okay, so when's the new X-Men? Where are the live action? So I'm just very curious on like the fan demand, if this is as fire as it was back in the 90s, if it's going to make people just as more, impatient for the live action of the MCU version of these characters. I'm really interested to see that dynamic of like, and then what if one's better? What if the animated is better than what the MCU gives us or vice versa? I'm just really interested to see the conversation around X-Men on small form and on the big screen.
I think you may have touched on this before. Do you think they're going to like merge the two, like maybe at the end of season 1 or 2 of this 97, it's going to transform into the live action or something?
We talked about that a while ago. I don't remember what the topic was, but I know it was, multiversal situations. What if we do see these animated characters? Because the whole conversation is like, okay, how are they going to bring in the X-Men? Charles and Magneto's relationship has to be established. We can't have new actors being brought in and just assume we know everything. So that's where I was like, yeah, if they brought in anime, you already got the history is already there. So that would be interesting if they did that. Brought in the animation to live action, or at least some of the characters just to kind of have already establishment. So, but we'll see.
I think it's probably obvious to everybody, but I think Secret Wars is going to open up all of that.
Oh yeah,
different universes crossing with different timelines. Remember the post-credit scene or the mid-credit scene for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness? He hooked up with a old girl. She's like, "There's an incursion," and they went. So that could be the start of it. Who knows? Also, in this article, it mentions the Shi'ar. I'm not like a comic expert when it comes to this, but you know how the Infinity Stones work. It only works in the universe it was created. And like every universe has their own set of Infinity Stones. There's some type of crystal that can work in like all of them, like in every universe or something. Like it's like the Infinity Stone, but for the whole multiverse. I think I could be wrong. Gotcha. And so since they mentioned in the Shi'ar, that could be that could come up as well. So I don't know. We're just gonna have to see, but I'm excited about it. So and I had this right here. I don't know when, but maybe summer of this year we're gonna get this.
The slate right now of Marvel is just kind of all over the place. Like we were supposed to have Secret Invasion by now. Loki is now like late summer, and and then of course the Marvels got delayed. So hey, take your time, Marvel. I ain't impatient. Take your time. Yeah,
take your time. What's up, Jaren? Take your time. I think you're right. The M Quan crystal, that sounds about right. So I could be wrong. But again, guys, if you're watching this via live on the replay, there's a link to this down in the description box below for you to read at your own leisure.